check from Key. I need the office. Tell us about yourself. We're gonna see if we can make a C101.3 love connection.
I'm a desirable woman.
It's a radio play in the sense that nobody's in the same space. It's about this girl named Emily who moved from New York to Hawaii, and it's told through a series of phone calls and live radio and intercom, and nobody's ever in the same space. And so I really relied on Kip as a director and also with a sound designer to how to imagine the space, because this is the first time I wrote a play where I couldn't imagine the physical world of it, because for me it was all just these phone calls.
How do you physicalize or theatricalize or dramatize this really, really lonely state of being where you're always on Facebook, you're always on your cell phone, you're always communicating with people through technology or through, everything is mediated. We started out not in the arrangement that we ended up in, but just in a round table, so the actors were looking at each other. But I encouraged them to not make eye contact with each other. The first or the second rehearsal, the read through, I asked them, like, is it really irritating to not look at each other? And they were like, no, it's such a relief. The play is written in disconnected communication, that when they looked at each other, they freaked each other out. We started with basically just a bed of noise. The pump it was always there.
Yeah. And it's a morning segment, so we felt that, you know, oh, maybe it's like there's a jackhammer Susan thought would be like great, and I was like, yeah, that's great, but then we put it in and it just became a part of the noise.
I don't know how we ended up with Woody Woodpecker.
Someone, I think Amy, our stage manager in the room, was like, Woody the Woodpecker. Eventually we added Woody the Woodpecker, and we're like, oh my gosh, that is just so strange and funny.
It's kind of jackhammery, actually. It kind of yeah.
Definitely the most evocative sound design environment is the radio. We really had to look at the characters that she scoped out with each DJ, DJ Loki, DJ Solange, Grandpa Z, and what would they choose to have for their intro.
Okay, Keone, you're on the stud of the week!
There was a point where I was listening to these live radio things and I was like, no, ours can't be less obnoxious than the reality. We can't have something smaller than the thing we're parodying. So then we listened to it and we're like, this is so terrible, these morning shows. And so we amped it even further up with these crazy sound cues.
Sounds like a sex machine! Smack that monkey!
The evolution of this actually partially came from the actor, because we were looking at what characteristics his vocal quality had, and someone at some point said, well, look up Grandpa Simpson. There was an episode of him talking about sex. And so that ended up being an element of the horny grandpa sound cue.
Do you have what we started out with?
Suck my dick pig!
Right. So we were very pleased with "Suck My Dead Pig" and at home, and we brought it in and played it, and everyone was just like
horrified.
I mean, the present day is this weird world where we're in more communication with more people than we ever have been, and we're less connected with people than we ever have been. You can't experience the play without mediating it. There's a whole other set of puzzles to start to explore about what the physical life of the play is, but we were trying to figure out the oral landscape and how that operated and how it operates on the main character, who's just more and more isolated as the play goes on.